That's more like a clicker. The Last of Us.
Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3.
1 2 3 1 2 3.
1 2 3 1 2 3.
This program is part of the Cosmic Potato Podcast Network. For more shows like this, visit our website at cosmicpotato.com.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
I am Iron Man. That's a big point.
Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds.
You are a toy!
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Why so serious?
The city's flying. We're fighting an army of robots. And I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense.
And welcome to World War G episode 232. I'm Troy.
I'm AJ.
And I'm Colton.
Okay. Well, we're going to start out with a list this time.
Who doesn't want a list?
Who doesn't love a list? And this is the best superhero movie performances of the decade.
There's some pretty good, like, it's only been around the last, 10 or, 15 years maybe, max, that we've really had really good ones, submissions, I guess. But, yeah, there's some pretty good competition.
So I'll read through these, and if you guys can think of any more, feel free to throw them in. So, number 15, Michael Shannon as General Zod for Man of Steel.
I just don't know if I like his face.
Not his performance. I just don't like his face.
You have to look at it, though,
Because he just, in no movie could he ever play a good guy.
True.
So he is perfect for the role of Zod.
That's true. Yeah, he does have a face where you're just like, that guy is mean.
He's got a face only a mother could love.
He's got kind of a face that looks like he should be on Dick Tracy.
Like, he should be called, the Brow or something.
Yeah. Although, okay, his performance alone, was pretty dang decent. He's having to go up against... he's having to go up against, Superman here. And he held his own.
Yeah. Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
I would think he brought something different to the character.
Right.
Made him more of a
threat.
Yeah.
Kind of a menacing, lurking, looming threat.
More of this kind of militant dictator type of person. So that was good.
Where Kal-El, he's more emotionally driven. This guy's just this is the way it is. This is what I want, and I'm going to get it. Kind of a deal.
By any means necessary.
Yeah.
Number 14, Christian Bale as Batman.
Agreed. I feel like a lot of these ones that are going to do really well are ones that have quite a few movies, so you can actually, see a larger, their performance a lot more. Right?
Yeah, and I mean,
that can be a good and bad thing for them.
But as far as Christian Bale goes, as far as the voice, put that aside.
Right.
The Batman voice.
Mm-hmm. Because he had to go back and do the first one over again, right?
Did he?
I believe there was a lot of he had to re-record his voice because it kind of kept changing and
he couldn't figure out what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. I heard that with Bane. I know he had to go back and re-record, but I didn't hear that with
Where
Batman.
are the drugs going? you guys have seen that College Humor.
Yeah.
For me, I think that maybe it's just because, of my age. He, for me, is the quintessential Batman. I don't think that he is Batman in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Just because in, my living memory, I didn't really know the George Clooney Batman all that well.
That's okay.
You didn't miss much.
So for me, he is Batman because that's what I grew up with.
Okay.
He does have, he is able to play both sides of Batman, kind of the rougher, throwing people around, but at the same time, he's also pretty smooth.
Yeah, he's
suave.
Yeah. Suave Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Number 13, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
She plays crazy really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have put her even on the list. She's probably the best performance out of the whole Suicide Squad movie.
I wish that they hadn't taken so much liberties with her outfit. Like, if she looked like...
I didn't mind it. The thing that I didn't really like is that they put her in a bigger cell than some, like, and more security guards over her compared to, like, all these other... Yeah, compared to all these other guys. I'm like, I'd put more guys on the Croc, or perhaps, even, like, Will Smith, Deadshot, yeah. Than her with a baseball bat. Or even the flame dude. What's the tort? What's his name? Diablo? Yeah. I would have put more people on those guys than her. She had like a cage within a cage kind of a deal.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, okay.
Yeah, you could kind of tell like, oh, this is the star of the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Number 12, Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger, Black Panther.
You guys know how I feel about Michael B. Jordan.
He did all right.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Wait, do we? You're not a fan?
I'm not a fan of Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
I mean, he just plays a thug in every role.
That's right. You're talking about that last time.
Yeah, because we were talking about Creed and all those movies.
It always looks like he has his wisdom teeth just barely removed. His jaw's all swollen for some reason. Okay, I'm done talking about Michael B. Jordan.
He was a good antagonist to Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther. I think he was a good villain.
Yeah, they worked well off of each other, too.
Yes. They had good chemistry.
There you go.
Yeah.
Up until the point where they kissed.
Well, 11. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
I mean, I can't see anybody else playing Deadpool.
Yeah. No.
Who would you prefer to see as Deadpool?
I would prefer nobody as Deadpool. I prefer if Deadpool did not have a big screen.
He really
was dead.
Yeah.
He really, like, even in his own personal life, he is kind of like that same character, right?
But, I mean, like, if you could pick a person, you'd probably pick Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
That's true. You do need somebody with, some comedic talent. Yeah. As it is. Number 10. Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury.
I would, like, almost say no until I saw his performance in Captain Marvel. I felt like then he wasn't so one-dimensional, and he had a little bit more character. And
yeah, they did give him a little bit more... He wasn't so, like, jaded yet.
Yeah. He was still young, a fresh rookie, kind of like, kind of a guy. Yeah. Able to make mistakes, but also, like, laugh at them. And
so it's kind of cool that you can see that what he was doing with Nick Fury before all that was a choice.
Right.
Yeah. Number 9, Daphne Keane as X-23 in Logan.
She did a really good job.
Yeah, she was fine.
But, man, that screaming. When she, like, every time she did anything, she would just scream like that. It was kind of hard to...
The little girl scream.
Yeah, it just grated against your ears.
Yeah.
Much like her claws.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have much to say, though.
I really feel like, actually...
Well, it was Spanish.
That's true.
Okay, now if they don't put, like, Hugh Jackman on this list, I'm going to be a little upset.
I haven't looked at it, so I don't know what the top 3 are.
And even Magneto's performance, those guys, oh man, they played well off of each other. And that was, like, depressing and great at the same time.
Number 8, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of just like a generic brunette kind of role, Yeah, she could be played by anybody.
I see. I can see what you're saying. I have to say, Gal Gadot has never been an award-winning actress. I don't think she ever will be.
Mm-hmm.
But for what she did with the role, it was fine.
She was able to bring Wonder Woman to life, like unlike some of these other women that have tried to do that. Right? She actually made her an Amazon warrior. Yeah. Right? She came across as like, I don't know, a lot more strong, like battle worn kind of.
And she was able to kind of embody the naive nature of Diana before she left the island, and after she left, she kind of had that almost childlike personality to her. Yeah,
where she was like still thinking that she was having to like survive, and like I don't know, there's a lot more like problems and stuff with the world. Like we take a lot of these things for granted, and that's just granted, and that's how.
Nice save. Because nice is also a type of rock.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like a lot of these things that those are customs that we just normally do, especially during that time period. She wasn't familiar with them, and like it was pretty well done.
It was like when Crocodile Dundee first came to New York.
Yeah. Basically. Yeah.
How long has it been since you thought about that character?
Years. Like the last time I saw that movie, it was like with my grandma on VHS, and like 15 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of what's that Tim Allen movie where he has that
Jungle to Jungle?
Jungle to Jungle.
Jungle to Jungle.
Yeah. When was the last time you thought of that one?
You said obligated.
My favorite part is like when he actually is frying the fish up. Or like the spider, like any scene with the spider was pretty funny.
I like the bow dart gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing I remember about Crocodile Dundee is I remember being very young and I was up at my aunt's house in Oregon and we were watching that. I remember that scene when she's still in Australia and she goes down by the river.
Yeah.
There's going to be crocodile there. She's in the bathing suit and it's a thong, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember my mom covering my eyes at that point.
Hey, Mom, what the heck?
Oh, hey.
How old were you?
Oh, I was young. I was probably, 5 or 6.
Too young to even care or notice. Like,
yeah.
I've since seen that scene. Yeah, it's
quite a few times. Paused that scene.
Not bad.
Back to our list.
Yes, back to the list.
Yeah.
Just really quick. If you want to hear something really funny about Crocodile Dundee, go to the How Did This Get Made podcast.
Yeah.
And listen to the Crocodile Dundee 3 episode. And you'll kind of... Paul Hogan, who plays Crocodile Dundee, is a crazy person.
Oh, geez.
They talk about kind of behind the scenes. Anyway. Number 7. Josh Brolin as Thanos.
I mean, I don't think that they could have cast a better person.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Which would be pretty difficult because he was doing how did it work with the whole Deadpool? Which one did he film first?
Thanos.
Yeah, no, that movie, especially the first chapter, well, I guess basically, that was his movie. Like that was his origin story, and that was his movie. Yeah.
And he embodies that character so much, and I think I've said it before, that you forget that you're watching a CGI character.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The CGI definitely helps.
Yes.
But
to make him larger than life and appear ginormous.
Yeah, and you think that he's just another member of the cast. You almost forget that that's Josh Brolin.
People aren't purple.
Yeah.
Right? No, seriously, like you think about it, and like you think about the Hulk, and you automatically, picture kind of a cartoony, bigger, lumpy kind of creature. Mm-hmm. But with Thanos, you almost picture like a person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 6, Tom Hiddleston as Loki.
He did a good job, like with the character. I appreciated it. He brought him to life, but there's so many other people that I'm thinking of, like that. As we're getting towards the end of this list, I'm like, when do you got room for everybody else? Yeah. Like, I wouldn't put him up here. Maybe like towards the bottom, but
he did a good job of making you like love to hate him.
Yes. Yes.
never knowing whose side he was actually on.
Which is the whole point of his character.
Yeah. He was like that raptor in Beast Wars.
But I mean, that might not
Dinobot.
that might not have so much to do with Tom Hiddleston. It could just be the script.
That's
you
true.
know? It's kind of one of those characters that anyone could play.
No,
Like
he
Matt
was
Damon.
able to, like, you have to think back a ways, but when he was in Avengers and he comes like to these mortals and he's, basically given his I'm taking over your world speech, like that was pretty dang impressive. He held an audience, like, for sure.
I will say that is one of the best scenes in an MCU film is when they have him in the helicarrier and he's in the cell.
Yeah.
And he's talking to Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
That scene is awesome because he goes from charming to terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, at a drop of a hat.
Just flip the switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But like you were saying, that scene with the people on the ground and him walking around doing his evil speech. Did you know that the guy who stands up in the middle to oppose him was an actual Holocaust survivor?
Really?
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
He's like, there will always be men like you.
Yeah. I like
can
that.
see tears coming down Troy's face.
Yeah.
Got a little emotional there.
Number 5. Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
Best Spider-Man. Yeah, I like he would be on this list for sure, but this high up?
Well, I would think for me he's come the closest to being comic book accurate Spider-Man. They're making him a teenager. He plays a teenager, even though I don't think he technically is anymore.
Yeah.
He plays it really well. Plus he uses, because Peter Parker's from Queens,
Yeah.
so he uses a New York accent when he's speaking,
It's true.
which no other actor has done.
Yeah. He's also got the skills, like,
Yes.
acrobatically
Yes.
wise,
Yeah. The point that you made about him being the closest age appropriate, I definitely agree. Personality wise, also
Yeah.
agree. I think just the fact that he was able to take 20 minutes of screen time from Civil War and have people be like, that is Spider-Man.
Yes.
I think is the biggest argument in favor of him being Spider-Man.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because
For sure.
he was doing that before he had his own movie, and
Yep.
people loved him.
Yeah. Well, and he seriously, like, that's exactly how I would be if I saw all of these superheroes that were flying around in this world. I see them all together fighting each other, and I'd just be like, oh, you're Captain America, you're Iron Man. Like, I don't know, I would be like, yeah, kid in a candy store kind of a deal. So yeah, he did a fantastic job with it.
And that was one of the coolest parts of the when the Winter Soldier swings a punch at him and he just catches it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, you have a metal arm? That's awesome. Yeah. Number 4, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Okay.
Only 4th place though?
Only 4th.
That's weird.
I have an idea who number 1's going to be.
Oh, for
Now I
sure.
think about it.
Yeah. Which it's only been one, like, he did one movie, yeah, and he was able to do it. Wait, are we thinking of the same person?
I don't think so.
Really?
Mm-mm.
You're not thinking of the Joker?
Nope.
Okay.
Because
Well, you think about Hugh Jackman, and he did it for, like, what, 17 years?
yes.
Like, I can't think of anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be they're going to have a daunting task to try to find somebody else to replace him, unless they go, like, an origin story.
Yeah.
I don't think that either one of you are thinking of the number 1 on the list. I
You don't
just
think
went
so?
and peeked ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, for me, I mean, Hugh Jackman, look, before the X-Men movies even started, Wolverine has always been my favorite X-Man.
Yeah.
Always. And so when he was going to be on the big screen, I had a lot of expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And old Hugh saw to those expectations, and he completely surpassed them.
You go look back at the first ones, though.
I would agree.
Even Last Stand, I think there were still a couple of issues. He hadn't put on the weight. He hadn't got.
If you see him in the first X-Men compared to the Wolverine,
Right.
it's night and day.
Oh,
when
for
that
sure.
came out, that was the peak of physical fitness. Like, no one had seen someone that buff really on the big screen.
Arnold?
Until that point.
Like
Arnold is...
Sylvester Stallone?
I mean, he was a bodybuilder, though. Like, you expected that from him. He was
True.
a bodybuilder before he was an actor.
He was kind of scrawny, dude. Like, in that role, like, riding on that bike.
Well, anyway.
Yeah. But, yeah, I know what you mean. Like, what he's been able to do with this character, he's brought that character to life.
The only qualms I had about Hugh Jackman was the fact that he's 6'2".
That's true.
And Wolverine is not 6'2".
No, he's not.
Wolverine is closer to my height than he is to 6'2".
That is true. That is true. But yeah, I mean, he had the gruffness down. He had the
yell.
Yeah. I don't give any F's about
Devil
your
may care
cause or any. Yeah.
Where everybody else is like trying to
cigars.
come up like with this plan. It's like Cyclops is supposed to lead the team, and then you got him like just, I'm gonna do my own thing. I don't care what you say. Like, I'm gonna steal your motorcycle and do my own thing.
Number 3, Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
I would say Patrick Stewart in the other X-Men movies was just basically being Patrick Stewart. And he's an incredible actor, but when you see him in Logan, I think that's where his acting really shines.
Oh, for sure.
That's when you're reminded, like, oh, this guy is an amazing actor.
Agreed. Like, we've seen other people attempt to try to, be him, even whether it's a younger one or not, and they didn't even come close.
Yeah. Well, here's my number 1 pick, but he's number 2. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Okay.
There's never been a guy cast as a superhero that's more perfect for the role than Robert Downey Jr.
Even Hugh Jackman? Like, that's saying a lot for Troy.
Well, here's the thing. It seems like they cast Robert Downey Jr. and he was just Robert Downey Jr. on screen. And they kind of crafted Tony Stark around him. Whereas Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, they kind of put Hugh Jackman into the role.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, and like Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark have a lot in common too. They were both top of their game and then had a really dark period and then boom, back, completely different person.
Yeah.
For, because we saw them try to do this with Tom Cruise with the Mummy movie, start a franchise or start something up that didn't really work. And we've seen it with even, DC trying to do this as well. But he was able to, that was a big risk for them to take a guy like a former recovering, addict and to put him in like the lead role for this whole franchise. Yeah.
Man, that changed his life so much.
Yes, it did.
Right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
nope,
see,
I didn't
told
see that.
you, neither of you were thinking of this for the number 1.
Number 1, Chris Evans as Captain America.
I mean...
As much as I like Chris Evans, and I love Captain America...
That first movie was fantastic. It is like still one of my favorite, like easily, probably, I'd say top 5.
I
think 1 and 2 should be flipped.
Yeah, I agree.
Is it because he's America's sweetheart and he's got America's ass?
Maybe.
Could be why he's number 1 on this list. And number 1 in our hearts.
But I don't think Chris Evans, I don't think Captain America required much acting. If you know what I mean.
Like as much acting. Yeah, for sure. Because he's kind of a one-trick pony where he's, like we've talked about before, this is the right, we have to do what they say. This is, Yeah, he's
and although
not as layered.
He is good. Chris Evans is good in that role.
Yeah.
There's just not a whole lot there as far as
not a very dynamic character.
Challenged.
Well,
yes.
Okay,
exactly.
What about in Winter Soldier? I felt like where he's, he had a little bit more depth when he's having to, fight up against Bucky, one of his old-time buddies.
He was conflicted, that's for sure. But he still wanted to bring him in because that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But he just wanted to make sure that bringing him in was also...
wasn't going to compromise anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, I don't think he really had to stretch his acting chops very far. But
did Robert Downey Jr.? Because that's his role. Like, they made the role around him, right?
True.
So he's not having to, like, do anything different. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I still feel like Heath Ledger should have made the list.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a couple other people that I felt like should have been on here. From the MCU.
If we're going this is only the last decade.
Right.
So this is from 2009 onward.
Yeah.
And Dark Knight was in 2008.
Okay.
So maybe that's why it wasn't on the list.
Okay. Yeah, when someone says 10 years ago, I really don't think 2009.
I know.
So I guess that also washes away some of the... Does that wash away any of the other Hugh Jackman movies? As far as the X-Men movies?
Yes.
Right?
I would say that
which helps his case to make him a little bit... Yeah.
I would say that they're probably going off of Logan.
Yeah.
Off of that performance.
And based on that screenshot.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as any others... I don't know. I'm trying to think. Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Jeremy Renner, Chadwick Boseman.
I don't know. Mark Ruffalo does do a pretty good Hulk.
He does, and he also plays Bruce Banner.
Had he had a chance to, have his own standalone movie, perhaps, like he might have made the cut.
Yeah.
But where you only get to see him as like kind of a sidekick and I guess you got to see him as a partner in Thor Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
move on here.
Moving right along. So you guys haven't had a chance to ever play Dead by Daylight, have you?
No, I have not.
I was actually playing it with some friends and stayed up until like 3 a.m. Playing this game. It's a lot of fun. Like, I think I've talked about it a little bit before. Basic premise is you've got 4 people that are like survivors that have different attributes, and then you've got a ton of different killers that they keep introducing more killers. They just barely introduced Ghostface and into the picture. So, and they already have like Michael Myers and Freddy Kruger, and like they have like a lot of these iconic monsters that you're going up against. But what you have to do is you're in this big arena and you have to run around and start up 5 generators, which take a while to start up. You basically like this little quick time event almost, where it'll flash and go around in a circle, and there's a certain point that you have to like tap X to get the generator to keep going. And the more people that you have on a generator, the faster it works, but some of them are limited to only 2 or 3 people. But at the same time, the killer's running around and also can be alerted if you mess up on a generator or by other things in this arena that alert them and let them know that where they're located at. You can kind of try to hide and avoid it, and they don't have the best eyesight, but they also have like a lot of perks that they can use to find you. It's just kind of fun, like, because then once you start up the generators, then you have to open up like 2 doors, or there's like a hatch that you can also escape out of. But it's just kind of a fun, because you, like, a lot of the times you'll have like a random person on your team and they're doing something completely different, and you're trying to work as a team together, and
yeah,
I don't know, it's a lot of fun. But you're also able to play as the killer if you'd like as well. But they're finally introducing, like, it seems about like almost it's about time that they did this, but they're introducing Stranger Things into the mix. It didn't go, like, when I went into the article, it didn't go on to say they'd obviously have like a Demogorgon creature, but it didn't say if any of the characters are going to be in here as well. But I imagine like they'd almost bring in Hopper, just because what they did with the other characters is they brought in Ash, his character from the Evil Dead series, like just as kind of like a Halloween treat for everybody for like a while. So they're kind of like, I appreciate that they're still staying fresh and bringing new characters to the picture and keeping this game around. It's a lot of fun.
So, based on the thumbnail for this video, it looks like Demogorgon for sure, but also it looks like they're going to, like, those are digital characters in there. So
Correct.
I think that they will have... Oh, you're looking
Yeah.
at it. I think they'll be in there.
Yeah, which would be kind of fun because like you can level up these characters and they have different attributes to where they've got like light foot, so when you jump down from like a place you don't like make as much of a noise or you don't startle like crows, or there's lots of different perks. But there's one in particular, I can't stand Freddy is because he goes invisible and like you don't know where he's at, and then like when he's looking at you, like the player's looking at you, it actually starts playing that like the Freddy song, 1, 2, Freddy's gonna kind of a thing. So like it only adds to the whole ambiance, and it's like already set in this misty like fog area, like because they've got about like 20 different arenas that you can play in, and yeah, it's a blast. It's a lot of fun, like as a time killer, and also just like as a good fun game for friends.
Is it so it's online multiplayer?
Correct.
Is it also couch co-op?
No, I don't believe so. No, you wouldn't be able to. So you'd have to have 4 different like console, or 5 if you wanted to play as the killer as well. But you can also just play with your friends and like make your own kind of lobbies, just so you can practice around with the killer and also practice with your friends and kill them.
All right.
So yeah.
Well, we're getting a new He-Man and the Masters of the Universe series, and it's going to be produced by Kevin Smith. Not sure how I feel about that. Now, he's just producing. He's not writing or directing or anything like that. So
as long as he has a lot of help.
Yes. Yeah.
Has he talked about, like, I don't know on his podcast if he's really talked that much about He-Man, or is, like, where we know that he's a huge Batman fan. He's even written, like, a Batman, like, book.
Yeah.
And a couple other, like, installments. But with He-Man, I don't know really if he is that, like, cares about the character that much.
Well,
you want somebody that actually is, like, really passionate about these characters, right?
I think he does.
I know he's like of the right age.
Yeah, he knows the character because he grew up in the 80s.
Right.
He hasn't talked about it much. Obviously, I don't think he could talk about it.
Have they already mentioned anybody that's going to be playing any of these roles as He-Man himself?
Let's see.
Because like the last person to do that was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, last person to play He-Man. Oh, you're thinking Dolph Lundgren.
Oh yeah. I don't know if we really need another He-Man installment. They've tried it with like G.I. Joe, and they were able to bring it a little bit to life with The Rock and some of these other characters. But He-Man seems way dated.
Yeah, and I mean, this is going to be an animated series. It's not going to be live action.
Oh.
Which is good.
Yeah.
But here's the official synopsis from Netflix. It says, a radical return to Eternia, Revelation is a direct sequel series to the classic era of Masters of the Universe, featuring fan favorites He-Man, Orko, Cringer, and Man-at-Arms. The story pits our heroic warriors and guardians of Castle Grayskull against Skeletor, Evil Lyn, Beastman, and vile legions of Snake Mountain. But after a ferocious final battle forever fractures Eternia, it's up to Teela to solve the mystery of the missing Sword of Power in a race against time to prevent the end of the universe. Her journey will uncover secrets of Grayskull at last. This is the epic He-Man and Masters of the Universe saga fans have waited 35 years to see.
So it's a sequel and not a remake.
Correct.
Okay.
So that gives them liberty to do their own storyline as well.
True. Although you're going to still have to, like, introduce this character, because you're trying to, it's a cartoon, so you're trying to get these younger audience, as well as, like, some of these older people are going to be watching it. But would you see, like, your brother, Troy, or some of these other people that grew up, like, in the 80s watching this?
No.
They're kind of doing their own things. Yeah. Maybe they'll watch it with their kids.
Maybe.
Right?
The only way that I could see this being successful is if they copied the exact art style as well. Because I mean, you know a He-Man screenshot when you see it, based
Yeah.
on the color scheme and how it was drawn.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of...
I don't know. I never watched He-Man, but
Yeah.
I did have the He-Man playset, which was pretty dope. So if they do bring this cartoon back, they're probably also going to bring back the merch, which that would be pretty exciting because I missed that thing.
Yeah, I had a few He-Man action figures at my time as well. But you're right. I mean, it does feel very dated.
Just
The
like
show
we've
is very
talked about this
dated.
before, like the Flintstones that they're bringing back. It's just like, okay, it's, I don't know.
See, that one, it's like, but why? Did anyone ever, like, love the Flintstones?
I don't know.
And those who
But
did...
people loved He-Man.
Yeah, and those who did love the Flintstones are like in their 60s and 70s now.
Yeah.
They don't care if it's going to be brought back. They'll say, well, that's not like the original, and they won't watch it
Yeah.
because they're old and stubborn.
I'll tell
Same
you
thing
one,
might happen with He-Man here.
I'll tell you one person who is excited about the He-Man coming back is Kumail Nanjiani, the Indian.
Yeah.
I guess he's Pakistani
Mm.
comedian because he loves He-Man.
Does he?
Yeah, I watched his Hot Ones interview,
Mm-hmm.
and he talked about it
I don't remember
quite a
that.
bit.
I watched it too. I don't remember.
I feel like as far back as you can go, and I might be a little bit like biased, but like 90s cartoons had some of the greatest ones that I'd be okay with them revamping and bringing back. But then once you start go further than that, I don't know. I don't really care. I don't think too many other people, they're too old. I think they missed that opportunity.
Yeah.
Had they done that about 10 years ago, then it would have been a little bit more relevant still.
Well, and they rebooted it once, like back in, I think it was in like 98.
Oh, really?
Something like that. Yeah, they had a new cartoon, and it didn't do much.
But because we've got Kevin Smith on board, it's going to do well, or?
I don't know.
Huh.
See what
guess
happens. I
See,
guess.
I
see.
feel like there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be outraged about this, though, because it's two male descriptive words. It's He-Man.
He-Man.
Whoa.
Where's the they, them?
Where's the she-woman?
No, not even that. You're just supposed to do
Yeah.
That's true. You don't
it's
want to.
they, there.
Don't want to
them.
involve. Don't want to involve gender.
No. It's the it thing.
Yeah, there is. We've talked about
It's
this also before.
The person.
What was it? Like Frasier and some of these older shows, Cheers, that wouldn't have worked even nowadays, right? You can always
Yeah.
find a lot of things that are politically wrong. Are they bringing back something that's already got gonna have a problem with being politically correct? Right? That's another obstacle for them to try to jump.
Yeah.
There's a lot easier ones that you could do that you could even have more. Well, okay, so say you were to bring back Captain Planet or something, right? That'd be pretty easy, and you also have a pretty broad range of people,
Yeah.
right? The He-Man, you've kind of got a couple of main characters, and I guess maybe they'll introduce a bigger world. They could have different characters.
That kind of seems like what they're doing. They're really diving into it looks like the mythology of this world.
Yeah.
Which could be interesting. Or it could not at all be interesting.
Thundercats, you're next.
There
You're
you go.
next.
So we talked about Suicide Squad a little bit, and how Idris Elba is going to be playing a character.
Yes.
That is to be announced yet, either.
TBD.
But another surprise cast for Suicide Squad is Nathan Fillion.
Yes.
Aw, yeah.
Which it's just really hard to picture him in a superhero role.
Not at all. Dude, have you not seen Dr. Horrible sing-along blog? He's Captain Hammer, man.
Is it recent?
Yeah.
It is?
Recent-ish.
He's gonna
Last
have
10
to,
years.
He's going to have to do some serious working out in order to be seen as a superhero.
And he may not even
gain some weight.
He may not even be a superhero.
See,
he may be
just a,
what was that
soul
boomerang
cop,
dude?
yeah.
What was that boomerang dude?
Captain Boomerang.
Yeah, Captain Boomerang. There you go. Yeah. Couldn't he be something similar to that?
Oh my gosh,
Just
he's
as
gonna be Polka Dot Man.
Right?
The Condiment King. It's gonna be the Condiment King. No, Nathan Fillion has actually lost weight. Like,
Yeah.
I follow him on Instagram, and I was just thinking a couple weeks ago, I was looking at a picture of it. It's like, man, he's gotten really thin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see his face has gotten really thin. Like,
Because I know he'd put a lot, like,
That's
even
why.
when he
That
was playing
my
the
Instagram
rookie,
you were looking at.
rookie, he was like a little bit like bigger as well.
yeah.
Yeah. So he's like lost, like had to lose some weight.
And that's why I thought he was doing it. Like, oh, he's doing it for, the rookie and
Right.
trying to get back more into shape.
No,
but
he's going to be Captain Canada. Look
Aw,
at his
yeah.
profile picture.
Captain Canada.
I like it.
Yeah, you're right. He does look super thin.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this.
Yeah,
he's not.
Yeah,
See,
he
He's
is.
no longer chunky.
he is
That is
thin
superhero bod
out.
right there.
There you go.
Yep. He's back to Captain
Boom.
Tight Pants shape.
Yeah.
Well,
Mal
when,
Reynolds.
when Warner Brothers comes a calling, says, hey, we'll pay you X amount of dollars, but you need to get in shape.
Yeah.
And we say, okay.
That's all I'll do all day.
Kind of makes me want to watch The Rookie now because he's obviously filming scenes where he's skinny now and
Yeah.
he didn't start skinny.
That's true.
It'll be similar to what they did with the Parks and Rec. You know, when you had what's his bucket? Andy.
Mhm.
Andy's character go
Chris
from like
Pratt.
Chris
Mhm.
Pratt. You know, go from like bigger to thin.
It's like I stopped drinking beer and I lost like 60 pounds in a month.
They made so many jokes about it. It was awesome.
And that's definitely the kind of show where you can acknowledge
Yeah.
that kind of weight loss and just
Mhm.
make jokes about it.
Yeah.
But no, that good for him.
There you go.
That's exciting.
Does this potentially mean that we're going to be seeing Mal Reynolds, Captain, coming back? Firefly?
Yeah, I doubt it.
I know. I'm just being wishful.
I
here.
know.
So this is still 2019 is still the year of Keanu Reeves, and it's not stopping anytime soon because
Internet's favorite celebrity.
The
Right?
Chinese calendar now has that on their menu.
Oh,
in their menus in
I
Chinese
believe it.
restaurants.
yeah,
So you are Keanu Reeves if you're born in this month.
The year of the Keanu.
yeah. So him and Carrie-Anne Moss are going to be making a fourth Matrix movie. Now, I had to do my research because it's been so long since I'd seen these movies. I remember seeing the first one for sure, and then bits and pieces of the other two. I don't know. I remember a huge rave, and there being twins, and right?
Pretty much sums
That's
it up.
the movie.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty much
there's a
sums
couple
it
of
up.
twins jumping on cars.
Yep.
Yeah, and like there's a dude with a lot of keys.
Yep. Yep.
But it's like, so I had to go back and like watch this, and his character, because he did something different than what they were expecting them to do, because he was just supposed to reboot the whole Matrix, and then it was going to start again on another level. But Keanu Reeves, he did something different because he fell in love, so he opted out and backed out. If you remember, I seriously had to go back and YouTube this to even watch it. But like, he died in
He did.
this. Yeah, so
Maybe it was a
There's-
glitch in the system.
Or maybe he really is the chosen one and he can come back from death.
well, Neo, that is an anagram for the one. Boom, right there. If you rearrange it. Right? That's pretty deep. Yeah. But, like, there's going to be another, like, I guess they could make another movie is because each time that it reboots, there's another group of people, like another potential for people to go to this Zion kind of a thing, I guess. And this will be like the 7th tier or something. So I guess they do have material for it, but it seems like they should have just kind of let this one, like, sleeping dogs lie kind of
I
deal.
agree.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, I remember the first Matrix pretty well.
That whole scene, like in the when they go walking in with the guns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, you're right. Those other two, I don't know what happened.
I remember the big semi chase scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't even know which one it's in. I think that's the third one.
Yeah. There's an old dude with a beard with a lot of computer screens behind him.
He was being chased around by.
There was a spoon.
Right?
Did you know?
Oh, there is no spoon. That's right.
Did you know that
red pill, blue pill?
Keanu didn't get paid for making the movie. He opted to take a percentage of what it made, which I think is a pretty big risk.
That's awesome.
Like being one
It
of
is
the
a risk.
bigger
Yes.
movies in the beginning of your career. But it worked. He still makes like $5 million a year just off
Oh,
that
geez.
movie.
That whole the whole series, the franchise.
All right. Well, in recent Batman comics continuity, they have killed off Alfred.
Say it isn't so.
What?
They killed Alfred.
It's about time, honestly.
Right.
He was old.
All the different timelines. This is the only time that he's died.
No, he died in The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
At the very end.
You guys remember that time he beat up Superman? That was great.
The butler beat him
Yes,
with a candlestick.
Yes, because the comic book writer decided that was going to be how it is.
That's pretty dope.
They
That was
aren't
great.
actual real characters or people.
Oh, so he's not dead. That's good.
But yeah, Bane.
Do you think that this would actually like having him die? Would that like throw Batman into a spiral? You know, because he's been his father
I would
figure,
imagine.
right?
Yeah. And I think that's going to be part of the theme because Batman doesn't know yet.
Oh, no.
Oh, geez.
So what basically happens is Bane has teamed up with Thomas Wayne, who I guess is now in this current dimension for some reason.
Like Thomas Wayne, like Batman's dad?
Yes.
Okay.
See, he in Flashpoint, when Flash changed the reality, Thomas Wayne was actually Batman, and it was Bruce Wayne that died in the alley.
Don't you always feel like, Troy's putting on a clinic here? Like, he's just like, let me put on my comic book hat for a second.
And then Martha Wayne actually became the Joker.
Yeah.
It's like when you're like 19 seasons into a TV show that should die. That's kind of what comics are doing.
I know.
Trying to come up with new material and, yeah.
But basically, Robin gets kidnapped by Bane and evil Batman, and they have Alfred there, and Bane snaps Alfred's neck.
Wow. It's his own version of the snap.
Yep. So, yeah. And it's, if you're curious, it was in Batman number 77. If you want to go pick that up, though it may be hard to find right now.
Right. Some of those one issues are pretty difficult to find. They go off maybe like a reprint, but actually for a number one run. Yeah.
And with the death of a major character.
Oh yeah.
They tend to get snatched up pretty quick.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Disney's been doing a lot of expanding to their theme park over the last few years.
Yes.
Crazy amount. They started with Cars World.
Yeah.
And then they have the Guardians of the Galaxy Tower or whatever. Then Star Wars that they recently just opened that AJ went to. But now they are doing an Avengers campus. Let's see. Let me just skip to the part.
I think that they should have done the Stark Tower, right?
Yeah.
And some of these
that
other
would make
their
way more
Avengers.
sense. Well, so this is what it says. The campus is set up by the Avengers to recruit the next generation of superheroes. So it's probably more like an interactive portion of the park, like role playing,
Right.
which seems really cool.
Well, no, I think it's going to be really similar to the Star Wars area, just because you can be recruited as a Jedi. Now you can be recruited as an Avenger, right?
Well, and from what I've seen, it does look like they'll have more rides you can do there, more activities. It's not just going to be more of a walkthrough, kind of like how Star Wars Land is currently.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a lot more interactive.
I feel like they've got to find there's a fine line between having an interactive ride and also having a ride that's going to be able to get people through the line a lot quicker, right? Like some of these ones where you're going to have kids just standing there for 20 minutes kind of a deal. They got to, I know the line's obviously moving. It's going to be more interactive with stuff that you can see as you're walking through the line.
Yeah.
But
I think that it would be more, and this is just speculation, but the Toy Story ride where you're that alien, like shooting the aliens.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it'll be more like that.
Okay.
Because, I don't know, I just have a hard time believing that Disney would let people hold other people up
Yeah.
for getting through this ride. So they're probably pretty strict about,
Moving
the timelines, moving things through.
Is there any rides that you guys would like to see? I could definitely see. I know they've already got a Guardians of the Galaxy ride, but you could definitely see. Couldn't you see a similar one where you're shooting like the different creatures and stuff in Guardians of the Galaxy? You know, with Rocket Raccoon by your side.
What I'd like to see is, although they may not do this now, and we'll get to it here in a second.
Yeah.
But a Spider-Man ride where, like, remember in California Adventure where they had soaring over California?
Yeah.
Where you're getting a thing, and yeah, I'd like to see that, but it's a Spider-Man thing where you're kind of
like
swinging through
Swinging
the
by
city.
yourself,
That'd be cool.
not with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
They do have.
You're in like a harness kind of a deal,
Yeah.
like as Spider-Man, like flying around. That'd be kind of cool.
So it does look a little interactive. Like, I think this is just a kind of an idea of one thing that will be on there. These people riding in a trolley that's going to the side, and you got to help Spider-Man web sling these things.
Yeah.
So
I feel like Disney's going more of the Universal Studios route, right?
that makes
Kind of
sense.
seems that way, yeah.
Yeah. They're like, even though Disney is trying to be like these trendsetters, a lot of the times they, like what we're going to be talking about here in a minute, they'll piggyback off a great idea and run with it and make it better. I mean, they, because they got that Disney money to throw at it. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
Did you have something to say about?
Oh, I was not specifically. I was just gonna say I always wonder what Walt Disney would say
Right?
if he saw his park now.
Because
Yeah.
it kind of is like a sellout park.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Although with all the money coming in, I don't think Walt would mind much.
No.
And then they're also opening another portion of the park for a Moana themed attraction.
Geez, this is going to be a huge park. How are you going to be able to get through, this park in one day? That's why you have to do the park. You do
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it says, when Journey of Water, inspired by Moana, opens, it will let the guests interact with magical living water in a beautiful and inspiring setting. So probably more on the kids' side.
Probably. Yeah.
Which would be pretty cool because you're going to get a lot of, The Rock doing a lot of different voice acting in that park, right?
Probably. Yeah, I'm sure they'll bring him back.
This is pretty cool, but it's always interesting which movies are going to be big and do so well that they're going to get their own part in the park.
Yeah.
Right?
I wouldn't have thought the Moana would.
No.
That's
I know they're going to for sure do another movie. But yeah, Moana, I could see Toy Story and some of these ones that have a couple of movies.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to work with a lot more material.
And I mean, what Disney usually does, even if they have Moana there, it's not going to be there long.
Yeah.
It'll run maybe 10 years and then they'll have something else come in. When Frozen 5 comes out.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Well, if they're doing a Frozen
let it
2,
go.
they're probably doing a Moana 2.
Let it go.
It's just as successful as Frozen was.
Yeah.
Pretty close, yeah.
Okay.
So speaking of things that are getting revamped and revised, Robert Englund wants Kevin Bacon to take up the mantle as the new Freddy Krueger, and the dude looks like him.
Yeah, well, so you know how we were talking earlier about people that just look like villains and that can't play good guys?
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon is one of those people.
He's another. Yeah.
Even though he has played good guys several times, there's always something there I don't trust this guy.
Yeah. Even when he was in
I don't
that
know.
one, The Following, or what was the TV show that he did?
The Following.
Following, right? Yeah, I was still kind of I almost felt like he was a Dexter-esque character, that he was, I haven't watched that much of it, but that he's kind of a villain, or he's got some ulterior motive.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon's just shady AF,
Mhm.
I've never liked him.
Really?
Kevin Bacon is shady AF.
I liked him. I did like him in Hollow Man, and even in that, what was that cop movie that he did? Where he played
Played a lot of cops.
with going after those kids.
Oh,
You know
Cop
what I mean?
Car?
Cop Car?
Yeah.
That was a great movie. He
That was
did
a
a
good
fantastic job with that.
That was a good movie. I like that.
That one flew under the radar, but it was really well done. Yeah, it's always interesting. Like, have we seen many people like Robert Downey Jr. or Hugh Jackman or Ryan Reynolds or anybody else say like, "Hey, I would like this person to take up the mantle"? Have we ever seen that before, though?
Not that I can recall.
I mean, they've gotten their opinion on like, you know, like a former person that's played Batman has talked about like another Batman, you know, and they have to pay homage and like tribute, and they have to like talk him up and, you know, keep the good name alive. But I've not really seen too many people say like, yeah, I'd like this person to play me next.
I can't imagine that would get like have much sway.
I think it would.
I don't know. Even Hugh Jackman or Robert Downey Jr. being like, "Hey, I would like this person to play me." Do you think Disney's going to listen to that?
No, but I think like the fans would potentially. I
think the studios would take it under advisement, but I don't think.
Yeah.
Eventually, the studio is going to do what the studio wants to do.
But the sentence "we'll take that under advisement" basically means hard pass.
No thanks.
Okay, when it comes to like superheroes,
You're
but what about
entitled to your
villains?
wrong opinion.
Same thing.
Same thing?
Yeah.
You don't think if like you know, the actor that plays like Mike Myers came out and said like, I'd like this person to play me next?
No. The studio, you know, they're gonna see, okay, who can we get that's cheap because we don't have to show their face?
Yeah.
Who's big, physically, you know, that's what they're looking for.
The only way that I could see them taking their recommendations is if the recommendation is their own child and their child looks exactly like them and they are doing an origin story.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only time I could see it.
So Will Smith, you know, is going to say like, hey, Jaden Smith should play.
No studio will take Jaden Smith.
I can't stand that kid.
Are feet shoes?
Are you dumb? Yes. Trees are actually blue. That was a tweet of his.
Oh, jeez. He's so edgy, though, kid. Guys.
He's got a really punchable face.
He's really meta. He's really...
Yes.
You just don't understand him, Troy.
He has a very punchable face. That's true. Oh, I understand him. I understand that he's a moron. That he's a spoiled kid who doesn't know how the real world works.
Yeah.
His daddy didn't raise him right. Too busy making movies.
Yeah. I'd like to see Jaden Smith in the real world. See how
he is the definition of entitlement.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Because his parents are rich and he can do whatever he wants. He can show up at his prom in a white Batman outfit.
Yeah.
That I'm sure his parents paid for.
No, that was the money that he got from making that movie that his dad paid him to be in.
Oh, that's right.
Was that The Pursuit of Happiness, or was that in like the M. Night Shyamalan movie?
No, that was the space one where he go down.
Yeah. M. Night Shyamalan directed that one. Yeah.
And with Karate Kid,
yeah,
Will Smith bought the rights to Karate Kid so that Jaden Smith could be in it.
Okay, to be fair, I did like that movie, but I didn't watch the original.
I appreciate that they put
much.
Jackie Chan in there. You know, that helped ease the pain.
Where the heck are we now? Oh yeah.
Speaking of being bitter.
Yeah.
Yes. Holy cow! This has torn the internet apart.
And smart play on Disney's end for kind of like, because they had everyone thinking that it was Sony that did this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sony came out and said stuff as well. They shot back for sure.
Well, what we're talking about is Sony and Disney have parted ways as far as Spider-Man goes. Yeah. So Spider-Man will no longer be in the MCU.
But Tom still got 2 more movies, right?
Future. Yes, he's still going to be playing Spider-Man.
Right. Well, he was hired by Sony.
Yes, he was hired by Sony.
So they have whatever they can do whatever they want with Tom Holland.
Pretty much.
And also, they're keeping the same director because he was also hired by Sony. I recently learned that Disney didn't have hardly anything to do with the Spider-Man movies at all.
Just a producer.
Which is so crazy because they were so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, they looked like Marvel films.
Yeah.
Which I'm honestly glad that they're not now. We can still get good Spider-Man movies.
And I think that's what Disney brought to the table, is they brought, a direction for him to go storylines, how the overall film looks.
Yeah.
I think that's what Disney brought, plus a little bit of...
So it's a little bit, like, it's
green,
difficult
but-
to mess it up, you know, when they're like, hey, this is the arc that we need you to do. Make this movie.
So here are the things that we lose. We lose the Tony Stark parts of the story. He probably isn't even allowed to talk about Tony Stark.
Which will be interesting how they handle the next film.
Mm-hmm. You lose the happy relationship with Aunt May,
Yep.
or friendship, or whatever, and then you lose.
And Happy.
Then you lose Nick Fury, who wasn't even in the movie.
No.
If you technically,
Yeah,
Nick
yeah.
Fury wasn't in the movie.
You lose Happy Hogan, that whole relationship.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, but I feel like the movie was taken in a direction where it doesn't. Those relationships don't really matter anymore.
Here's what I feel like they got to do. They've got to piggyback off of the Venom movie and go that direction, go a darker direction.
I think that's their ultimate plan.
Yeah.
Is to have Tom Hardy?
Yeah.
Tom Hardy and
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Man, so many Toms and
I know,
Chris's.
I know.
Right?
Like, what is their deal?
Yeah. Basically what happened is Sony and Disney sat down, and Disney said that with Spider-Man movies moving forward, they wanted 50% share
Instead of 5%,
5%.
and then also they had all the rights for toys, merchandise.
And Sony said, "Haha, no."
Which is pretty much exactly what they did with what was that movie? They pitched that before with a different character. But I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Disney just tried to acquire Sony. Because they have the Disney money. Like, that would be the ultimate power move. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it would.
you don't want to give us money for this character. How about we just buy you?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just buy the studio.
I could see them doing that, but down the road. But also, Sony, thanks to Disney, is in a much better place with their character than they were, a couple of years ago?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we all saw what, like, Garfield did with it. You know?
I like how you call him Garfield. Freaking Garfield.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, they didn't do anything near $1 billion,
It's true.
right? Yeah.
You know, and Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire did really well, but it didn't even come close.
No.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this character. But Kevin Feige has come out and said, well, you know, Spider-Man was never going to be part of our... He was never part of the... We weren't going to hold on to him forever.
He wasn't truly an Avenger.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Did you see what Stan Lee's daughter said, though?
No, I didn't.
She said Tom Holland was Stan Lee's favorite Spider-Man, and he would be turning in his grave if he knew what was happening.
Really?
Well, I don't really care about her opinion. Like, as far as the MCU goes, like, I don't know.
Harsh, but true.
Right? I'm just saying, like, she wasn't even by his side, really. She didn't have, like, I didn't even know that he had a daughter until his passing.
Neither did I, actually.
Right?
He's a busy man. He was a busy man.
Yes, he was.
He wasn't a Hugh Hefner, but, like, he's a pretty busy man.
I mean, he was Hugh Hefner
Oh, yeah.
in Iron Man 1.
Right, he was.
This is very true. This last story is just, I had to bring it up because it's pretty dang funny. With Death Stranding coming out so soon, you can actually now, like, and I've even seen footage of this, that if you pee, you can actually hurt enemies, but you can also, like, if you pee, you can create, like, these, like, mushrooms looking things, or mushrooms will eventually grow in that area that you've peed.
Oh, I've done that.
Right? And then you can use those to, like, create and craft other stuff. I just think it's kind of interesting how they're, like, you know, not wasting any type of, like, opportunity or anything. It's like the Indians, you know, the Native Americans, where they don't waste any part of the animal, the creature, right? They're not wasting anything here and trying to make it as realistic as possible. Video games.
They're not wasting any bodily function.
Yeah. Well, you think about it.
You can poop and a tree grows.
Right? For Arbor Day.
I've never used pee as a weapon myself, but I have had pee used against me.
I have, but it was in another video game, Conker's Bad Fur Day. Back on that Nintendo 64.
I'm talking about real life.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Someone's actually peed on you.
I have had someone pee on me maliciously.
Wow.
Was it a child? When you were like showering them or something?
We were technically kids. I mean, it was my older brother's friend. He was up in a tree, and I was at the bottom of the tree, and he thought it would be funny to take a leak.
Peed on
and
you?
He peed on me.
Oh, it didn't get in your mouth, did it? Eyes?
No, it didn't.
Face?
But
No?
my brother took care of me. He made his friend come down and hold out his arm, and my brother peed on his arm.
You got the payback.
A
Really
pee for a
pissed him off.
I'm not gonna lie, I cried. I was like, he's peeing on me. Who does that?
I'm pretty sure, I've said this before, that you could probably rob a bank with a piece of poo on a stick. Nobody would want to touch that or touch you. Or, you know, you
Give me the money.
And you're not
Give me
like
the money.
And it's not like you're a real threat, so no one's gonna want to like tackle you and take you down.
Yeah.
To save other people from the poop.
Yeah, but if you had poops on sticks, you just hold them out, like, you know, you can keep them at bay.
Money with if you have your hands full with poop on sticks.
You have other people there. You know, you have one person holding the poop on sticks. I'm probably giving this a partner in crime here.
Well, it's two poops on sticks, so you can only provide one of the poops. You got to have a partner.
Exactly.
The second poop.
It would bug me if it was human poop.
Yes, right? Yeah.
Animal poop I've come in contact with.
Yeah.
That doesn't faze me.
No.
Human.
White dog crap.
Yes. Dog, bird, cat, whatever.
I still can't stand it when people like. I mean, I appreciate that they do this on these hiking trails. They'll take a little plastic bag and pick it up, but like that's steaming, hot, like warm poo. They're just picking up in a bag and putting it aside.
Yeah.
Ugh. But human poo, yeah.
Yeah. No.
Ugh. God, I feel like we're in a Family Guy episode right now. For how much we've said poop.
I was going to say I've never come in contact with another person's pee, but that is not true. Thinking back, so. Anyway. Okay.
Well, there you have it.
I think I'm coming down with something. That sucks. Okay. Here's where you can find all of our episodes. You can go to worldwarg.podbean.com. We're also on iTunes, Google Play, and cosmicpotato.com. On the social media, you can find us at facebook.com/worldwargpodcast. We're also on Twitter and Instagram. Just search at WWG Podcast. You can find all of our merchandise at shop.spreadshirt.com/worldwarg. Put us on your body. You can also email us anytime.
Day or night.
At worldwgpodcast@gmail.com. Also, you can also call, also text the show, or call it also at 385-240-1692 on Joel's line. So, this has been World War G, episode 232. That has been AJ.
That has been Troy.
I've also been Colden.
Also. Stay geeky, my friends. I gotta
go to sleep.
I gotta go to sleep. I gotta go to bed. I just realized as we were recording, we didn't talk about this, but
it's Tim Burton's birthday today.
Is it?
Yeah, he's 61.
Oh. Favorite Tim Burton film?
Big Eyes.
Big Eyes. I'd probably say.
Although Nightmare's up there. We're not going to ask this dude over here, his favorite. Yeah. He'll just pee on our parade.
It'll just be one big poop on a stick with him.
Yeah.
I'd probably say Beetlejuice.
Okay.
I like Beetlejuice.
Okay.
That's my favorite Tim Burton movie.
There you go.
No, besides that, the D23 Expo has been going on.
Yeah.
And we've had a whole bunch of stories come out.
Mandalorian?
Do you see that trailer?
Oh my goodness. Mad Max-esque. It looks awesome.
It's like the Wild West is in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Man, it looks cool.
And that
Did you watch
vast
that?
landscape,
Okay.
like, it looks pretty legit. Like, they're covering a lot of land. And did you see how many people he had frozen? Right? It was like a deck of cards.
Yeah.
Like, that dude was, like, on a roll. Whew, it's great.
Is it Boba Fett? Is it Boba Fett?
No, it's not. It's like, it's a similar bounty hunter, but I already read it into it. It's not Boba Fett.
Because they're not saying like what his name is or anything. Maybe he doesn't have a name.
Yeah, he doesn't
Maybe
need a
he's
name.
just the
No
Mandalorian.
name. That's even more menacing. He doesn't
But
have
yeah,
a name.
if you haven't seen that trailer, go watch it. It is awesome.
Mm-hmm. What else has been dropping from there?
Well, we know that Ewan McGregor is going to be back as Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
An Obi-Wan series is happening. We also learned that more Marvel shows are coming out, where they're going to introduce Moon Knight, Ms. Marvel, and She-Hulk.
Okay.
They're all going to be part of the MCU. What else? What other
Do you think
stories?
eventually will Disney do wrong when it comes to the MCU? You know, like we've always said, like, prove me wrong. You know, eventually,
Well,
do you think?
this whole thing with Spider-Man has got people upset?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't handle that very well.
Are you just talking about like producing a bad show? Or
Correct.
Movie?
Yeah.
I think it's inevitable.
No, I mean it's happened. Like, there's not been like,
There's been ones
especially
that weren't fantastic.
yeah,
but-
the second Thor movie.
I mean,
Yeah,
you stray
third
far
Iron
enough
Man.
from the formula, you're going to have some bad cookies, you know?
True,
it's true.
but you do like you play it too safe, and they become generic and not
Just
interesting.
too repetitive.
Yeah, Doctor Strange kind of did that a little bit. You know, it wasn't like they didn't stray far enough from the. They introduced new things, and it's kind of cool to see like this whole new world. But at the same time, the story itself was pretty generic.
I think the big issue is just they will be predictable. Like Captain Marvel. You knew immediately who the bad guys were.
Oh, for
In
sure.
the first 2 minutes of the movie, you knew who the bad guys were.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That is true. But what else was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That wasn't great.
Yeah, they've had a few missteps.
Yeah. But nothing that's really cost them. Nothing that's been like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm not going to watch
Another-
MCU anymore.
Has there really been like? There's been a couple of movies that I can say that I've not watched the next one just because I didn't really care. Because the last one was so horrible. But
No, not that I can think of.
Star Wars.
No, not even that.
Yeah.
Trying to see if there's any other stories that came out. No, not really. Those were kind of the big ones.
They did a lot of announcements because like Disney Plus is coming out. You know,
Yeah.
with TV shows.
They're talking about new movies they have coming, like Disney Pixar's Onward.
I saw the trailer that they did for Disney Plus, and as cool as it was, I feel like, you know, you've got Hulu and Netflix and HBO and all these other things that they've got kind of a darker, bigger variety of stuff, where Disney's kind of a one-trick pony, where they've just got like they have a lot of like content, but it's going to be really super kid-friendly.
Yeah, I think it's going to be centered around the family. And
Yeah.
I think that, you know, those are people that, like, I am willing to pony up, you know, however much per month, just so that my kids can watch the same Disney movies that I grew up on without having
$10.
to, without having to, like, rent it off of Amazon for 48 hours, you know?
Yeah.
Or go buy an actual physical copy and also try to find a VCR and...
Yeah, I might even myself subscribe to Disney Plus.
I'm definitely going to. If only just to watch old TV shows that I used to like Lizzie McGuire and Impossible. And
That's coming back.
They're bringing all of those shows to be streamable on Disney Plus. I was like, it's a lot of value for only $10 a month.
That's right. Lizzie McGuire in her 30s.
In her what? In her adult year? Are they gonna do what they did with like what's the other Corey Matthews? What's a Topanga?
Yeah.
Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World.
Where they
Girl
do that.
Meets World.
Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine it's going to be Lizzie McGuire, and she probably has her own kid. And
Yeah.
you know,
Something similar.
Yeah.
Her brother Max is a drug addict.
Probably. You
Right.
seen that kid? He probably is. You saw that kid back in the day. He was destined for drugs.
I think I would watch it, but more for the new content and, like you said, Colton, the stuff that I grew up watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be the only place you're going to find, like, Marvel films going forward and that sort of thing.
I've already got the majority of. I think I'm only missing like one or two.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
AJ, you're the only person in the world who still buys DVDs.
Also
Yeah,
true.
That's true. I buy a lot of them, and then they also have the digital copy for Vudu. So
I totally
I'm happy with that.
would buy movies if I ever watched movies. You guys remember when you were a kid and you're like, hey, let's watch 12 movies today?
Yeah.
I miss that.
yeah,
See, me, I have to make time and schedule a babysitter just
I
to
feel-
be able to watch something. That I
like
wanna
a
watch.
single movie or like an episode of like something TV show.
Mhm.
I don't have to do that, and I still don't really watch movies.
Well, it's a big investment in time, right? A couple of hours.
It is.
Yeah,
I have to be doing something else while I'm watching the movie.
so you feel more productive,
Yes.
right? Yeah, you don't feel like you've just like, well, unless you get really invested in the movie, it's difficult not to like be like, oh shoot, yeah, where'd time
like
go?
I watched Inglourious Bastards
Mhm.
just the other day.
While drawing.
I'm currently still
Yeah.
watching it. I haven't
Oh.
made any progress since last week.
Yeah, I didn't even realize I was watching it on the 10th anniversary, which that was weird. Like to the day, that was
Yeah.
odd. But yeah, I was watching that, and I was, doing other things and making sure a wasp didn't die on my floor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna make this whole thing the after credits.
Yeah.
Why not?
The whole episode?
Yeah, I was make the whole episode an after credits.
No, this additional stuff is
Well, have you
like
guys-
from pretty much from D 23.
Yeah.
What is it called? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was a conversation based on the last story. We haven't even. I mean, I don't know. We didn't even talk about what we watched this week, which I didn't see anything.
Neither did I.
I did get a chance to watch two movies.
2 movies. Wow. Look
I know.
at you.
I know, right?
All the time in the world.
Pretty much do what I want. Well, I made it a double feature. It was pretty nice.
Double feature. He means he paid for the first movie
And then just
was
snuck into the
walking
second
past
one.
the second one. Hey, that looks good. And now the signs show the start times too, so
Right.
it's like, oh, perfect time.
And if you wait like 20 minutes, that movie's like hasn't started yet, and they kind of like line them up.
They just make it too easy nowadays.
They do.
So I ended up seeing Good Boys, which it was better than I thought, actually.
Yeah.
I was did you see it as well?
I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I would just have a hard time watching little kids say the F word every other word for
This
But
was
I
a lot better than like
But I
it
think
was.
That's the thing. They do.
Mhm.
We don't realize it, but they do.
Yeah.
I know. I remember. I was a 6th grader once.
They're not the 6th graders that like you originally like thought, but they do a fantastic job of actually like a coming of age kind of a story, and some of these kids say the funniest things. Like seriously, it's actually pretty enjoable.
Well, the preview really cracked me up. I was laughing.
and
throughout
see,
the
and I
entire
was
trailer.
like, and I was
They
surprised.
drug test us.
And I was thinking that those were going to be the funniest moments and there wasn't going to be anything else. Like, if you enjoyed the trailer, you would actually really enjoy the movie itself. Because there's so many more things that they throw in here, and it really didn't feel like it was an hour and a half. Like, it went by pretty quickly.
Like when he says, no, she's a nymphomaniac.
Yeah.
She has sex on the land and the sea. I'm like, what?
Yeah. All those kids, like, they do a fantastic job with it. Basically, in a nutshell, they are trying to figure out, they're invited to this event, and they're kind of the kids are kind of growing apart from each other. And they want to find out how to like kiss. So then they start watching those two other, like those girls, try to find out how they kiss. And then it kind of escalates from there because they have to get money in order to get another one of those things back, as well as they've got drugs on their person, and they're trying to still alcohol. No, it's just like one. I mean, it's difficult to describe the movie because it doesn't really. I mean, it has a full circle.
It's super bad in junior high.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. But the kids are actually like so dang funny. Like I'm serious. Like you'd be laughing about this movie like from start to finish. The only thing I didn't like in it is that one scene where they have like the sex swing. That they shoehorned it in at the very 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 tail end, and it didn't even feel like it fit in the rest of the movie. Like they could have almost like I was thinking about it as I was watching it, and then the movie was about over. I'm like, wait, I don't remember seeing that scene, and then all of a sudden like it's there. They kind of like threw it in there, and it was actually not as funny as it was in the trailer. It was like funnier in the trailer than it was like actually seeing it.
So in the trailer, did they use their like second best jokes, and then in the movie they used their best jokes?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you know a good comedian. They use their second best joke as their opener, and then their best joke as
to kind of draw you in. And yep, for sure. They did that. Like there were so many different scenes like that were just pretty funny. I would like. I'm gonna probably go watch it like at the Dollar Theater, like before it comes out, like on on DVD. Like
I might have to go watch that.
I liked it. It was really funny. I would still like, as far as story goes and everything else goes, I'm still gonna give it out of 5 beer cans. I'm gonna probably give it 2.5. Like bordering on 3, but like
story is average.
Yeah, stories is pretty average. But the kids, like they've got a great career set up. Like they kind of reminded me a little bit of like the cast from It, but only like they swear a lot more.
Like dirty,
but dirty. Yeah.
What it seemed like to me, what I liked about the trailer is, to them, these things that are happening to them are like the most important things happening in the world. But to everybody else around them, they're like, what are you guys doing?
Right?
Like when they were trying to sneak the bear out of the convenience store, and the cop just looks at him like, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It was worth a watch, actually. I enjoyed it.
I'll have to see it. And you guys know how I am. I'm really forgiving of movies that can make me laugh.
Yeah.
Colton, like, honestly, I think that you're going to be at like a 3.5 with this one. Seriously, dude. Yeah.
It'll be like my childhood.
I seriously felt like a little bit like it was, because like these kids are so innocent, but at the same time, they're doing all these things behind like their parents' back. And it felt like your childhood kind of a thing, but only like nowadays, right? If it was set more in the future.
Right, if we were kids now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. The other movie that I did see, Ready or Not.
Oh, yeah.
This one, so the family, they get married, and it's like a gaming family, and these, from the trailer, you've already seen it, that they have to, anybody that becomes a member of the family has to play, like draw a card. And play a certain game. Like one of the other people played like Old Maid, and somebody else played chess, but she draws the card that's like hide and go seek. And that's what, like, I was worried about this movie not having enough, like, because it's a big place and a big mansion, but I was worried about it not having enough content and it being just pretty, like, stupid by the numbers. But this actually held up really well. They had, like, a pretty dark story in it. You think it's going one direction and it ends up going somewhere else. And then it has kind of a, Cabin in the Woods-esque vibe towards the end, or, I'm trying to think of Maniac as well. Do you remember that one? Like, it had that kind of a feel to it. And it was great. Like I was really surprised with the ending, and like actually really enjoyed this movie. Let's see. Let's do out of 5 cards. I'm at probably, I'll probably like it a little bit more than you guys, but like I'm at a 3.5.
Really?
It was really well done, and it's one of those ones, even though nobody else is gonna, like, you guys aren't gonna buy it, but I'll probably end up buying it and adding it to my collection, because I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Yeah. It was worth a watch. It was a good week for movies.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. Like I said, I watched Inglourious Bastards.
Hobbs and Shaw is still out, and I know like that new 47 meters. But those are... there's also that one Shia LaBeouf movie that looks pretty decent. The Peanut Butter
Falcon.
Right?
Yeah.
That one actually looks pretty good. I haven't seen Shia LaBeouf in a long time.
Shia LaBeouf playing himself.
That's the thing. I have a hard time watching Shia LaBeouf nowadays.
Really?
Yeah. Like, he just looks like he smells bad.
That's why he did such a great job in Fury.
That's true. And he looks homeless and dirty most of the time. Just like,
to me, I feel like he's going the direction of Daniel Radcliffe-esque. Or, kind of like that direction.
Like just doing movies that he wants to do?
Yeah, or like these passion projects. Or even, what's the Frodo? Elijah Wood. Yeah, kind of that direction.
But...
Do I mean Daniel Radcliffe?
But Elijah Wood and Daniel Radcliffe can afford to do that. I don't know if... Does Shia LaBeouf have that kind of... I guess he does.
He's got that even Stevens money, man.
He's got the Transformers money.
Transformers, yeah.
That's true.
I think he'll be all right. That one looks pretty decent.
Yeah, I don't know. Shia LaBeouf rubs me the wrong way.
You guys watch that music video?
Probably rubbed a few people the wrong way.
The Shia LaBeouf
that was weird
musical thing. I love that video.
Wait, are we thinking the same one where he was in a music video where he's just like jumping around and being like all weird?
No, I'm talking about the one where it's like an orchestra and they're acting out the Shia LaBeouf song.
No.
I'll have to link it to you. It's freaking hilarious. Like, Emily hates it, but it's one of those ones that I'm like, every few months I'll go and watch the Shia LaBeouf song.
Just remember how good it was.
All right.